And we are back, and Jodie has decided to join us for the second half of this.
Say hi.
Say hi, Jodie.
Hello.
I hope it registered.
Yeah, you have to be somewhat loud.
Since you're so loud, you should probably face the computer like this way so it'll pick up us.
Yeah.
Testing.
And I also apologize for the lack of Fallout Boy on this half, but Raven's no longer listening to it. It's actually been
Not
a little...
by choice.
Actually been a little while since we recorded part 1, and both Raven and I are kind of caffeine hungover.
You're caffeine hungover. I'm still wild.
Still. My immortal will ruin your soul.
Pause it. He needs a shot class. You can join us.
So, where were we? Ah, yes. The Orgasm Instruction Guide. Find the right touches.
Gasp. The scandal.
Once you're in the zone, it's time to get physical.
What is this, a football game?
Ooh.
Huh!
No matter how good a guy is in bed, don't make the common mistake of expecting him to give you an orgasm. You gotta take it, sweetie.
I have opinions
I didn't know an orgasm was a
thing that you
tangible, like, you can hold it in your hand kind of object.
Basically.
You're more likely to get your kicks if you take things into your own hands, sometimes literally. Once again, we must extol the virtues of masturbation.
Woo! It's good for you. It will not
Master of
give you
what?
hair on your palms. Masturbation.
Can get hair on your palms depending on whether or not you shave.
You won't grow hair on your palms. Let's put it that way. Motherfucker.
Yes. And it won't get you pregnant.
Exactly.
Which is why one of the, was it a pope or a priest in the Catholic Church who advocated masturbation over sexual...
Molestation of children.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Although I think the point of celibacy is so that you're directing your energies towards God in better places than getting off.
There's a lot of old Spanish literature, like there's a book called The Book of Good Love, and it's all about nuns and priests and them loving.
Oh Lord.
And the rules of who are you and what you're allowed to love.
Oh Lord.
Realize it might take more than a little multitasking to get you there. Everyone's a multitasker these days.
That's funny.
Lend yourself a hand. Touch your clitoris during sex, or have your guy do it. Yeah, I don't know any guys who actually know where the clitoris is located.
That's why you're supposed to teach your lover.
Is that the part on your ankle?
Yes.
Yes, Jodie.
Yes, Jodie.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
There are fun guides and how-tos.
And see, I thought the clitoris was that little blippy, clicky thing on a mouse. The little middle button.
The scroll wheel?
Similar.
Or like on the really old keyboards, you know how they had that little rubber bit? The little...
On the laptop keyboard before they had the trackpad?
Yeah, that was always the clit. That was the clitoris. That's what I remember it being called.
No,
I have had a horrible childhood! I am dead serious. That was the clit. That was...
Oh, sweetie.
Am I the only one?
Yes.
You guys,
out of
please.
us. But
Okay, YouTube audience, leave a comment saying whether or not Jodie is right.
Please and thanks.
Please no,
I'm sorry.
don't be mean to her.
Be nice. We love Jodie. Jodie's awesome. If you're mean to her, I will hunt your ass down.
You should be mean to all of the douchebags that called it a clit and ruined my childhood.
Basically. I'm sorry,
Reach down with confidence. If you're worried about bruising his ego, it's just the opposite. It's a turn-on for him to see you so turned on.
And if it's not, then he's a dick, and you don't need to be betting him. The end.
Bed yourself. Safer.
Also, I would like to point out the rampant heterosexism in this magazine.
We can save that for final comments, dear.
I know, but I just wanted to mention it.
Steal from his playbook. Okay, so we're gonna run a post pattern. Raven go 30 yards that way, Jodie goes 20 yards that way, and I'll throw the ball to Hobbit on the center. Guys are usually great at taking charge of any sexual situation. No, they're not. They're really not. They pretend they are, but no.
Sexual scripts don't fucking work for anyone getting off.
They adjust their stimulation, speed, and angle to increase the chance of having an orgasm. Most women don't think to borrow this strategy, but it's smart to own your needs rather than expect him to figure them out.
Do you think Cosmopolitan has enough scientists smart people to write, like, the physics of which angle, which direction.
No, they don't.
Because I know men have probably tried to find that out, and that's never been successful.
Or rarely. I think part of the problem...
That's my attitude toward this entire article.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think part of why we need, air quotes around need, articles like this is that we don't talk about sex with our partners. I mean, it's
Let's
totally
talk about
cool.
sex, baby.
Exactly. I mean, if you don't want to be sexually active, or if you're not, like, I'm mostly asexual, and that's fine. But if you are going to have sex with someone, you should probably talk to them, because you both want to feel good, right?
Yeah.
Be like, hey, this is my clitoris, and when you do this, it makes me very happy, so keep doing it, okay, babe?
Unless it's a one-night stand, and then there's no rules.
I suppose.
But if you're going to...
safe.
But if you're trying to satisfy each other for a long period of time...
If you're in a relationship...
Communication is very, very important.
Lots of Asian communication in a relationship.
Don't be afraid to direct him.
Exactly.
Give a high school throwback a chance. No.
Wait, what?
Give a high school throwback a chance.
No one liked high school. What are they suggesting?
Dry humping is hugely underrated, probably because it's called dry humping.
Fraudage.
And also because it's really not that satisfying.
The technical
Are you
term,
speaking
fun
from
fact, is
experience here?
fraudage.
Yes, fraudage. Yes, I am, Jodie.
I'm sorry, no, it is actually kind of like, I don't get the point of this.
Yeah,
I don't get the point of most sexual interaction to begin with.
Fraudage is really unsatisfying, at least for me.
I think we're on that weird side of YouTube again.
Huh?
Have we bridged into uncomfortable Jodie territory?
I don't associate these things with you people, and then all of a sudden, sex, fraudage, yeah, I've done that before. No, it's not.
What, all of a sudden you realize that I'm a sexually liberated woman who does have experience in the world?
It's just,
it's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just something
this
that
is a
hasn't
new
crossed
facet to you. I'm gonna stop myself before.
It's okay, Jodie.
Before you say something unkind.
Well, I understand what you're saying, and I don't think she means what you're thinking. I think it's just that it's something that she'd never thought to associate before.
It's just
like when you think of your parents having sex, and it's like, wait a minute, I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get over that. My parents just all of a sudden, Mom makes sex jokes out of nowhere. It's like, Mom, you were the one that was, no.
You're my mother, you're not supposed to be, no, yeah. Exactly, and I think that's what's going on. It's not that it's, bad.
I've been raised to teach sex, or to treat sex as in terms of a subject as purely baby making and less. Oh yeah, I've given myself an orgasm before. That's great.
Yeah.
But some women have difficulty finding the touch and rhythm that works for them, even with their own hand. Well, you just have to keep trying, honey.
Practice. That is true.
When you grind against his pelvic bones or his penis before he enters you, animal instinct takes over, allowing your body to go on autopilot and find a motion that will get you off.
Did you know? I read, I wish I had a source to give you, but I read somewhere that the female orgasm it's hypothesized to be part of, reproduction, like partially necessary for it, ensuring pregnancy and what such.
Well,
because of the muscle contractions.
Well, it's possible to get pregnant without the woman having an orgasm.
Of course it is, but it helps.
You've seen the L word, haven't you? There's one specific episode where the two girls, they were going to get one of them artificially inseminated, and they were like, oh, if you have an orgasm before we put the stuff in you, it's it's supposed to help you increase chances of preggers. And
it's true.
So things happened.
Cool.
That has nothing to do with what we were just talking about. Mostly. We were talking about...
It's important.
Yes, it is.
Orgasms are responsible for the evolution of the human race.
Yep.
That is a true statement.
Have him do two things at once. Do you know any guy who can handle that?
In any way that you can take that, I don't think that would work.
Okay, so I want you to give me both a shoulder massage and a foot rub at the same time.
Counterintuitive. I mean, even my dad fails at doing two things at one time.
I want you to repaint my fence and fix my garage door.
Most people are not so hot at the multitasking thing. thing.
Well, actually, they've done a psycho study on that.
Really?
Being multitasker is you fail, basically.
Well, he's going down on you. Ask him to put a finger or two inside you, and or move your hips against his mouth to help create a rhythm that feels best for you. Many times, it's a combination of things rather than just one move that hits the magic button.
There's a button.
I know, right? I really.
Yes,
there is a button. People would be pushing it all the fucking time.
It's called the clitoris, Jodie.
Yeah. Oh.
Would you care, Raven, for Jodie and maybe some of our more innocent audience members to explain where the clitoris is?
Wait, are we?
I know what
Okay, I was gonna be like, because I can totally give an anatomy lesson. I'm cool with that. Lacey Green also gives a fairly good anatomy lesson. That's pretty clean.
But like a button for orgasms? No.
It's not like instant orgasm,
Well,
but
no.
it really helps.
Would you care to explain for those who still think it's the scroll wheel on the mouse?
Shut up, Jules.
Don't call me Jules.
You've earned it.
What, family jewels? Oh.
Touche. Raven, anatomy?
I'm not quite sure how to describe the placement of the clitoris. Okay, so you have your vulva. And I guess...
It's on the north side of the...
Yeah, toward the northern part of your vulva. Probably, let's see. Like an inch upwards from the opening of the vagina or less. It depends on the size of your clitoris and placement. It's different for everyone. So that's why it can be kind of hard to find. Because anatomy.
So crazy, it might work. One brave woman visited an orgasm coach, yes, it's a thing,
Yeah, it's an awesome thing.
in search of the secret to a more intense finale. Whatever works for you, it's different on every girl. There will be a genital massage today. And with those 7 words, I knew this wasn't going to be the kind of class I thought I'd signed up for. What kind of class did you think it was going to be?
Yeah, that is a good question. Like, if I
You're
don't know,
going
maybe
to
she
an
thought that she was
orgasm
going
coach.
to be verbally walked through getting off. Maybe.
In that case, they could have just made like an application.
Yeah.
Download it.
At the request of my editor, I'd agreed to take an orgasm meditation, what they call OMing, class at One Taste, a San Francisco-based company with 9 outposts around the U.S. Private classes cost $169.
That's funny because OMing.
You want to know what else is funny? I looked at my phone and its battery is at 69%.
LOL.
You know, you can learn the same thing for free.
Do you want
Just keep at it. The technique involves stimulating the upper left quadrant of a woman's clitoris, supposedly the most pleasurable spot, for 15 minutes. Upper left quadrant of the clitoris.
Okay. That's sort of startlingly specific.
Yeah, this is supposed to extend the sensory peak so orgasms are stronger. 10,000 people have taken the class, so I figure there must be something to it. Well, no one ever went broke underestimating the intelligence of the American people. My boyfriend Chris reluctantly agreed to go with me.
Reluctantly agreed to go with you? Okay, I'm sorry, but you get to get your girlfriend off. Wouldn't that be fun? If I were dating anyone and I were intimately involved with them, that would probably be kind of exciting.
Although if there's an expert that's trying to teach you how to make your girlfriend get out, no, you're doing it wrong. You do it like this.
Well, I'm assuming that the tone with which the expert teaches is probably a lot more encouraging than that.
Our orgasm trainer, Ken, a normal-looking 30-something,
I just judged so hard.
Barbie, where's Barbie?
explained the technique, then proceeded to demonstrate on the other trainer, Rachel, Ken's girlfriend. So in other words, it's an excuse for a guy to jerk his girlfriend off in front of other people.
Not necessarily. Maybe they, it obviously is consensual.
Yeah.
And if it helps other couples in the interim, why is that a bad thing?
True. On a bunch of pillows that became a sort of orgasm nest, she, yes, got bottomless, then Ken set a timer and, palm facing down, used his left pointer finger to massage her infamous upper left quadrant. You used a timer?
Well, yeah, they said 15 minutes. Let's see,
And you seem shocked that a woman got bottomless in a class on orgasms.
Basically. Again, she probably was expecting a verbal walkthrough.
Chris and I couldn't get out of there fast enough.
I'm bleeding.
but we promised we would give OMing a chance. First, though, I wanted to speak to an unbiased expert, sexologist Yvonne K. Fulbright, PhD author of Touch Me There. Says she'd never heard of the upper left quadrant of the clitoris being a special spot. So, in other words, he was full of shit.
Potentially, but the clitoris, if you manage to find, like, a cross-section, so you can see the internal structure of the clitoris, it actually goes fairly deep into the body, and it has legs that, would come down essentially on either side of this center of your pubic bone. I don't know if I'm using the right
Pubic
terminology.
synthesis.
Yeah, that. And so, massaging areas of the vulva that aren't necessarily the clit would still feel good because those nerve endings are still there. So there is something to it. It's, just probably also kind of gimmicky because that's kind of, you gotta sell something somehow.
Yeah. However, the idea that spending 15 minutes to get a woman turned on would make her orgasm stronger wasn't BS.
It's true.
Yeah. Which is something I can now attest to. Yeah, Greece attested to that.
But we've forgotten since the days of the Greeks.
After Chris and I purged the orgasm nest from our minds, we tried it. And I'll just say, oh my god. Cute. How to help him help you. Give him instructions.
Basically, I don't know why people seem so shy about talking to their, I'm assuming, because Cosmo tends to assume long-term partners. Why do people not want to talk to their long-term partners about sex? Especially if you're sexually active. I mean, if you're both virgins, I get it,
Well, no, the last guy I was with, we were both virgins and we talked about sex fine.
You're unique.
Granted, Cosmopolitan was kind of our instructional guide since we didn't have anything else to tell us anything, but we acknowledged that the techniques that Cosmo suggested sounded kind of not fun. You can get off, just not with him. Nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
Sex educator Emily Morse, host of Sex with Emily on SiriusXM Satellite Radio and on iTunes, is here to help. Give him a hand, literally. Cover his hand with your own and use the motion that you use on yourself. Or use your vibrator in front of him so he can get a front row seat to watch what works. Guys are action-oriented, so showing him what you like as opposed to telling him is the way to go. Okay, that's actually sound advice. It also works on girls if you're into that.
Exactly. Again, heterosexism. Warning, Will Robinson. Danger.
Focus on you first. Since women tend to take longer than men to orgasm and require a little more effort, the bulk of your sex session should be focused on you. Unfortunately, if you're dating the kind of douchebag that Cosmopolitan assumes you are, he's not going to focus on you.
You have to teach him to focus on you, which hopefully can be done.
Then, once you've had yours, he can do his thing. Also, once you've had one, your body is stimulated and primed to have another orgasm with less effort. Also true.
Yeah.
If you're willing to keep working on it after you've had the first one.
It depends.
Hold his hips. Guys generally have sex using an in and out thrusting motion, which isn't ideal for you. You're going to have a much better shot if you grab his butt, hold him deep inside you, and encourage him to move in a circular motion. This helps to keep direct pressure on your clitoris. Can't tell you about that.
Nope. Because none of us have actually bedded a man. Which there are
That I know
things.
of. Jodie, you've never bedded a man, have you?
I've put a man to bed.
But not slept with him in a sexual context.
No.
I figured not.
Yeah, didn't think so.
Cool.
Pretty good at making people fall asleep. That's how boring I am.
I don't think you're boring.
Or maybe that's...
Break out of an orgasm rut. If you're lucky enough to have figured out a go-to, it doesn't mean your big moment can't be even bigger. Who couldn't use more tricks in their repertoire?
Everyone.
If Girl on Top does it for you, this will too. Missionary using the cat coital alignment technique. What the fuck does that mean?
That's really cool.
Coital alignment, I don't know what that technique is, but I know what coital means, and I know what alignment means. It's getting your shit in line with his shit.
Why it works. Girl on Top gets you going because your clitoris gets a lot of simulation. The CAT delivers similar benefits. Get into missionary position, then have him position himself so his pelvis is in line with yours. This is assuming you're close to the same height.
Yeah.
Then he should use a figure-8 motion to massage your clitoris with his pelvic bone.
Ouch. Is that why they call it a boner? Is it supposed to hurt?
No.
No.
No, it doesn't, as someone who has zero desire to have sex with a man, this is probably going to be an interesting thing to explain. But it shouldn't. In general, sex should not hurt.
If it hurts, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
unless you're some sort of masochist.
And if you're into that, that's fine, but operating under the assumption that you aren't, penetrative sex should never hurt.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, if it does, you should probably take a break and figure things out or go back to foreplay.
It's so intrusive.
It is. There's a reason I'm not interested in it.
If oral does it for you, this will too. A little extra lube. You can never have too much lube.
That is a true statement, no matter what kind of sex you're having. The more lube you have, the better it will be. Amen.
Why it works. What you're responding to during oral is all the lubrication from his mouth combined with the pressure from his tongue. A lot of people underuse lube or think it's only for when a woman feels dry. Not the case. Have him touch your clitoris during sex with a lubed up digit. Actually, just use lube in general, regardless of what gets you off. Works so much better. If your vibrator does it for you, this will too. You time. A lot of it. Yep. Why it works. Vibrators are great, but they can potentially desensitize you to any other kind of touch.
That's not true.
Since they're more powerful than any human.
That's
not a myth,
true.
Unfortunately. Cite your source, Cosmo.
It's full. They're full of shit. Trust me.
Care to share with the class?
Smittenkitten.com. Vibrators will not desensitize you to all other touch. They do not replace men. They just make sex more fun.
Want to wean yourself off one? For the next 3 months, take half an hour a few times a week, the same as you would do for the gym, to experiment with touching yourself in various ways until you find your new go-to.
I don't know if that would work, though. Like, okay, alright, it's 5 o'clock, I have 10 minutes, let's lube up.
Go.
Giggity, oh, no, I'm
Yeah,
not.
it's like, what if you're just not into it that night?
You'd have to, well, I guess the only way that would work is if you would learn to turn yourself on.
I suppose if you overused a vibrator, but as someone who's never even used a vibrator...
But you can overuse your own hand and then just be, like, no more. Sorry.
Oh, awkward story.
Oh.
Okay, so, one of my friends all of a sudden, I haven't talked to her in forever.
BRB.
But she mentions, she went to a Christian school, and then she ended up being homeschooled, and so she not a lot of social aspect going on. But she all of a sudden, over the phone, after not having talked to her in forever, she's like, I have to go talk to my mom, because, I think I may have torn something from masturbating too hard.
What did she do?
Tore something from masturbating too hard.
Well, it could have been her hymen. I mean,
most likely.
that can tear. It's not supposed to tear, but in some cases it does because bodies are all different.
Yeah.
Or you don't use enough foreplay /
Well, I know that
lube.
the hymen can go into different states of disrepair just from being athletic.
Yeah, from existing.
I think I tore mine, actually.
Woohoo!
Or rather, my girlfriend did.
Good for you.
Yeah. That kind of hurt.
It would. It kind of does. Does anyone want PB&J?
Never knew this about
No,
you.
thanks.
This is, I'm never gonna be able to look at you the same way again.
Nope.
Jodie, would you care for PB&J?
Oh, yes.
Don't worry about overusing your vibrator, girls. It's not gonna kill you.
Nope.
What about a toothbrush?
Well, there are some women who do.
This is off of the Big Bang Theory. That's the only reason I'm asking.
Okay.
No, it's cool.
Because
Well, there are some women who do. I know a couple here who do. I am not one of them. I find my own hands to work just fine.
Yeah.
You can.
As long as you don't brush your teeth with it.
Well, yeah, and you wait. I think the idea is that you get a vibrating toothbrush.
An electric toothbrush.
Yes.
Do you like
Or a
peanut
cell
butter on
phone.
both sides?
I suppose if you have neither vibrator nor electric toothbrush,
How do you manage using a cell phone?
You put it on vibrate and have someone text you continuously.
Be like, why are you just shut up and do it?
But they're square.
It wouldn't be...
Okay, I've never seen a girl do that. I have seen a guy do that.
Why don't you just buy one of those little massager things from Walmart?
That would be better off, honestly.
Yeah,
I guess if you're in a pinch.
As someone who has never used the vibrator she has, I really can't say.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I hate my phone's vibrator, and I don't...
It's cool, dude.
What finally did it for me? 6 women who once identified themselves as orgasmically challenged share the move that got their toes to curl. Steal it, learn it, use it. The first time I ever experienced one was by accident when I was making out with a guy in the backseat of his car. I started dry humping him and things got intense. About a minute later, boom, my first orgasm happened. I figured out I needed to stimulate my clitoris outside my pants. Something about the texture of the material helps.
Okay. Good for her.
Okay, congratulations.
Might as well get a clitoral piercing and then just walk.
Ah! Don't talk about that, please.
That's painful.
That's something that actually really does frighten me. I mean, I don't know enough about it to talk on it, and for some women, I guess if that's what gets you off, awesome.
I struggled to have an orgasm in previous relationships. When I started dating my now husband, we had phone sex. We were long distance at the time, and hearing how turned on he was turned me on so much that I began to have orgasms from touching myself. Knowing yourself and making sure you're turned on mentally helps so much.
The female orgasm is 80% mental, fun fact.
I'm just not that into you.
Yeah, well, if you're not, you can't get off.
What finally did it for me was having really slow, deep sex where the guy hits my G-spot. Slow and steady wins the race.
It can.
I've never actually managed to locate my G-spot, so...
Oh my god, when you do find it, you will be a very happy woman.
Yeah.
Just saying.
From experience? Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, I'm scarring you for life.
No, I never would have met...
Asexual people do have sex drives, we just don't want to have sex with other people. It's true.
I guess it's just different for me.
That's cool, and you don't have to, that's fine.
Yeah,
to each their own, but in general, an asexual person can still have a sex drive. They just generally don't want other people involved.
I just call them hormones, and I lock myself up in my room or take a cold shower.
Until it goes away.
That's
cool. Whatever works for you.
I never struggled to give myself orgasms. With a guy, it was mission impossible until I met my current boyfriend. We had crazy sexual compatibility right from the start of our relationship. The two positions that always get me off are girl on top and one where my guy kneels in front of me while I'm lying on my back with my legs open.
Missionary?
No, he's not lying on top of you. It's actually in the Book of Ancient Roman Porn I bought in Italy, so, I'll show it to you. I was with my grandmother when I bought that.
That's exciting.
She just kind of rolled her eyes and asked if she could see it later.
You have an awesome grandmother.
Yes, I do. She also bought me beer.
Yeah, my mom gets on to me if I try to have a margarita in the house.
He goes inside me while I touch my clitoris. Works every time. I dated a guy who could not get the angle right for some reason.
Sure thing.
After a few hookups, I shamelessly put some pillows under my butt, which elevated my hips, and it worked. Lift those hips, girls.
It's good for them, too. You work exactly, and you also work out your lower abs and your hip flexors.
Exercise is a good thing for your sex life.
I have pillows under my butt right now.
Woohoo!
Hit that angle. It's all about being on my stomach on top. Not vertically, but horizontally. Then I just kind of squiggle around with my stomach in a circle. I guess you can call that grinding, but I hate that word.
You know what?
Hang on. Let me diagram this real quick. So, your guy is here, and you are here.
You do belly flop across.
And you somehow get him...
No, I don't think she's perpendicular to him.
Well, she said horizontally, not vertically.
Yeah, so horizontally, on top of each other. Hand me a stuffy. Hand
Jodie,
me a penguin or something. Not the penguin, the smaller bunny.
Jodie, can you
Please?
reach that basket? I've got a computer on my lap.
I need the stuffy bucket.
Suddenly I wish we were filming. Okay, listeners, you're just going to have to use your imagination for this. So we have a Hello Kitty lamb and a rabbit. Because there must be no exceptions to Rule 34.
Shut up.
34.
if it exists, there is
That's the kind of
porn.
position I think she's talking about.
Okay, so...
And then grinding from there. Squiggle. Squiggling is apparently the term for grinding.
Squiggling.
So, Jodie's getting a picture, which she will hopefully send me so we can put this here.
Oh, this is a video.
Oh god, it's a video.
Okay, I will link you to the video that Jodie is filming.
We should probably give it some context so it doesn't look like I'm just molesting my stuffies.
No, it's okay.
No, there will be no context, but I'll make sure you can only reach it from this article. So, now that we have had that gratuitous sex scene...
Shut up!
With rabbits and lambs. Happy Easter. Late.
Hey, well, a lamb is actually representative of innocence, while the rabbit is very giggity, you know.
Well, it's a kitty dressed up as a lamb.
Oh! So it's a... no.
I get it.
When you want more sex than he does. Has anyone ever met a girl who wants more sex than her boyfriend?
Tostitos dip. No, but I don't know anyone who's got a boyfriend. I know a lot of girls who date girls.
It is a truth universally acknowledged that men are sex-crazed animals. Suck it, Jane Austen.
No, that is bullshit. That perpetuates,
a stereotype.
Yeah, perpetuating that stereotype allows for rape culture to continue. And that's not cool.
Yeah. But suck it, Jane Austen.
Okay.
Cosmo just utterly defiled your most famous quote. I don't even like that book. It is a truth that universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a large fortune must be in want of a wife. Anyways. So when your guy's libido is more lukewarm than red hot, you wonder what's wrong with him and what's wrong with you. You've been sexually repressed for too long and he's used to it.
The end. And some people just don't want sex all the time, and that's okay too. Thank you, Jodie.
What normal guy doesn't want to have sex? Teresa, 29, from Boston, Massachusetts, used to ask her boyfriend angrily when weeks would go by without his making a move or responding to her advances.
That was a long sentence.
Dude,
a normal guy.
Yeah, what if the guy just doesn't want sex? I mean, again, asexual people exist. Stop erasing them. It's okay to be asexual.
According to an enlightening new book out this month, Why Men Fake It, The Totally Unexpected Truth About Men and Sex, by Abraham Morgan Taylor, MD, the answer is a lot more normal guys than you'd think. In my practice, I frequently hear from men who complain about low sex drives, says Dr. Morgan Taylor, an associate clinical professor of urology at Harvard Medical School. How sad must your life be that you are the assistant clinical professor of urology? That just sounds...
Let me study your urine, please. You have a bladder infection. You'll be having the sex way too often. Without peeing afterwards.
Yes. Oh, tangent. If you have to pee immediately after an orgasm, that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It helps. You should go, because it helps clear out bacteria and whatever from your urinary tract, and then you don't get a bladder infection from having sex. End of public service announcement.
Yeah, and apologies to Dr. Morgan Taylor. I'm sure you're a lovely fellow, and you were nice enough to talk to Cosmopolitan. No disrespect is meant, but you're a public figure, so we're making fun of you.
Thank you, Ravi.
Many people still operate under the assumption that guys are obsessed with sex and that all a real man needs to get an erection is for the wind to blow. Again, that is perpetuating rape culture, and
it's also really not fair to dudes either. Come on now.
Yeah. It's simply not the case for all men, even young men, and it doesn't necessarily make a guy abnormal. Good to know, but if you're dating a guy experiencing low desire, the situation can be disheartening. My boyfriend and I have been together for almost 5 years, and my only complaint about our relationship is that I want more sex than he does. When he turns me down, it makes me feel insecure. I absolutely hate it, says Michelle Molitor, 31, from Pierre, South Dakota. You live in South Dakota, there's not a whole lot to get excited about.
Oh, ouch.
Oh, that's terrible.
I'm from Iowa, it's my job to make fun of South Dakota.
You brat.
If you're in the same boat, read on, because there's a way to find a happy compromise.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you something with the bag in a minute.
An issue all along. Low desiring men is nothing new, but women who feel empowered enough to speak up about their sex appetites are an emerging breed. It's called a sexually liberated woman.
Mm-hmm.
And Jodie just demonstrated how to wrap a chip bag up so it won't come open without using tape. Unfortunately, this is an audio recording, so we can't teach you. Women are much more emboldened about their sexuality than they were even 15 years ago, says Dr. Morgan Taylor. They feel comfortable asking for what they want, and they're discovering that what they want may not be what their partner wants. Probably not.
Really? That could be a deal breaker right there in a relationship.
Yes, it can be.
On the flip side, men are also being encouraged to be more in touch with their feelings, and maybe some of those include, hey, I just don't feel like having sex.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I could refer you to such a horrible misogynistic article right now, but that would be directing attention to it.
Misogynistic? Sorry. Okay, I'm done.
Keep your mind in the gutter, it makes for funnier comments. Big libido killers. Let's see. Your mom, Shia LaBeouf, garbage.
Poop.
I have a headache. Babies.
Furbies.
Furbies.
Inside joke.
No, those are huge libido killers.
Mm-hmm.
Stress brought on by this tough economy could be one culprit that's inhibiting male desire. The economy. Darn you, President whoever. So can the ubiquity of porn, experts say. Oh god, we're going into this again. Excessive masturbation will tax a man's libido and make it so he doesn't have a lot of mojo left for you, says Ian Kerner, PhD author of She Comes First.
That's not true.
Tea bags.
You know, Jodie...
I can't help it.
Yeah, I'm so sick of all these different publications saying that porn is lowering men's sex drives.
I mean, maybe again, they're realizing, hey, maybe I don't have to want sex all the time, and that's okay.
Unless he's blowing off work to get his fix, it's not something that requires therapy. Hi, Mandy.
Hi.
But it does warrant a discussion. Let him know that you can feel the power of his erection when he hasn't ejaculated in a day or two, says Kerno. That should give him the hint. You know, I feel like I shouldn't touch that one.
Nah, you should touch... I'm sorry, brain.
No, go ahead and say it. I don't have a comment.
Lots of sex touching comments.
Let him know that you can feel the power of his erection when he hasn't ejaculated in a day or two, says Kerner. That should give him the hint.
He hasn't ejaculated in a day or two. Maybe he's dehydrated.
Yes, that is
Do
possible.
men ejaculate every single day?
If they masturbate every single day.
But, like, they don't have to.
How would you
No.
know? How would you know? Are you gonna follow him around in...
And be
Have
like,
you ejaculated yet? Have you ejaculated since the last time I saw you, which was like 5 minutes ago, and you went into the bathroom to pee?
Oh my fucking god.
Have you ejaculated? Oh, I hear that you just got out of a meeting. Did you ejaculate?
That's fucking creepy. Yeah, point taken.
Exclamation mark. That's, yeah. Mm-mm.
But even more likely is that when a guy has a lower libido than you do, there's not necessarily anything wrong with him. Or cause. It might just be how he's programmed. Sex is always going to be more frequent in the beginning of a relationship. It may not be until you've been with someone for a year or two that you realize you aren't on the same page about sexual upkeep. Okay, I believe that you really should know a person before you have sex with them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying you have to date forever before you have sex. I'd be a bit of a hypocrite if I did. But you should know each other and be able to talk about it first. And so you should be on the same page before you even get in bed.
I agree.
I thought that was the point of missed connections on Craigslist. Have you seen this?
No.
There's one of them. It's like, hey, yeah, misconnection. I was wearing a sparkly tank top and like leather boots, and you were with the big piercing. Yeah, you and I had really awesome sex. Just so you know, I have a kid and preggers. He's yours.
Oh my god.
Misconnections, and I'm guessing that was that wasn't even a one-night stand because they did it in a bathroom.
Oh.
Testosterone, one of the hormones that regulate sexual desire, is always higher in the beginning of a relationship for both men and women, says Michelle Weiner Davis, MSW,
Oh,
I have an inner 5-year-old who is roaring with
author
laughter right
of
now.
The Sex-Starved Wife.
Wiener.
It might be Weiner
inner 5-year-old
Davis,
is
but...
laughing.
Oscar Mayer wieners. Are you a wiener or are you a loser?
But as the novelty wears off, less testosterone is produced, and sex with that person seems a little less interesting.
And that's actually a proven study, the testosterone being lost as perhaps not with the I've read with once the guy has children, if he becomes a father, his testosterone levels go down the drain.
Sounds depressing, but
Makes
it's
sense.
normal. For some couples, sex drops off a little. For others, it drops off a lot. If you've talked to him and established that there aren't other issues going on in the relationship, you're probably just dealing with an everyday gap in sexual desire. So, deal with it. Free therapy here. Mismatched sex drives don't have to be a deal breaker. You just need to find some middle ground. These are strategies Weiner Davis gives her own patients struggling with this frustrating issue. ID his turn-ons. Give them each a card and scan it as they come in.
Shame on you.
Oh, I wish it was an Oscar Mayer wiener.
Buying new lingerie in an effort to spice things up can actually put more pressure on him, not to mention raise the stakes for you, and deplete your checkbook.
Don't buy lingerie for someone else. Buy it because you like it and it makes you feel good.
I thought that was the point of having nice
Yeah.
fancy underwear.
As far as I'm concerned, it is.
Because as far as the sexual, wouldn't you be turned on after you took it off?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not gonna.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
much.
one thing to get shot down under normal circumstances. It's another to get shot down while you're wearing a see-through nightie. Actually, if I got shot down wearing a see-through nightie, I'd just go to sleep.
They actually, I think it would be interesting if Cosmopolitan did a relationship like issue where they got they had real couples, and then I remember another magazine doing this test, where they get couples, and then the guy picks out like what he thinks would be sexy on his girl, and then the girl picks out what she thinks would be sexy on her, like from the guy's perspective, and they have completely different things in mind.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's like, oh, this will be totally sexy, you know, this is like a silky sheath kind of robe type thing.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, she's covered up. What the hell? And then another couple, the girl picks out a really kinky, like, ooh, kind of see-through lace
Thing.
bondage looking stuff. And he's like, she picked that? Oh my god. It's very cute.
The importance of communication.
Instead, suss out his other turn-ons, the things that bring him bliss but have very little to do with sex. Pizza.
Oh god, good pizza. Oh god, it's better than sex. My mother's homemade pizza. Oh god.
It's like an orgasm in your mouth.
Uh-huh.
If he savors time with his buddies but hasn't had a lot of it lately, tell him, you've been so stressed, you should do a fun weekend away with your friends.
Mm-hmm. It's totes okay to have other friends outside of your relationship, ladies.
It could make him see you in a whole new light. Some space, autonomy, or appreciation can be more potent than a pair of furry handcuffs.
There we
Raven is tickling me by trying to get her foot under my leg.
I'm sorry, I just needed to extend this leg. It was getting tight.
63% of readers say they've wanted sex more than their partner did. Probably because they were using the tips given to them by Cosmopolitan magazine. Get PG together. watch Hercules and play the drinking game.
Mm-hmm. Without alcohol.
Yeah, don't use alcohol, you'll kill yourself.
Shot, 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 shot.
Little
shot,
things
shot.
like holding hands or cuddling on the couch signal your brain to produce the bonding chemical oxytocin, which can make you both feel closer and more connected. Important if you've been arguing.
That's very true.
Angry
Oxytocin
sex.
is the best thing ever. I love oxytocin. I get it from just cuddling
Yeah.
with people and having them play with my hair.
Why don't you just attack them and then, like, wrestle them and then be like, ha, I win, ha ha ha, you have to make me get an orgasm now, fail.
Some people probably do that. Or should. It might be fun.
Try saying to him, I just want to feel close to you, or let's do this for 5 minutes, as you grab his hand or curl up to him. Seems innocent, but desire often takes over when you give it the physical chance to grow. Think about it. You're snuggled up together, warm under a blanket, his hand grazes your butt, and bam! It's on. Right there on the couch while the Disney movie plays.
Or you could just cuddle and not have to have sex.
Oh, Mr. Darcy.
Oh god, please don't. As far as I'm concerned, they're asexual characters. They're just in love.
Oh no, Darcy and Bingley totally were doing it. I've read too much fanfiction.
You're shipping my coffee pot with my tea kettle. This is Bingley, and back home I have a kettle named Darcy. Don't ship the coffee pot and the tea kettle.
I don't know, I think the coffee pot and the tea kettle could get really hot together. And steamy.
We'd have a nice little party going on with that. Social. Lots of tea bags.
And on that note,
Fossilized wood.
take sex off the table.
Yes.
Sounds counterintuitive, but pressure will make him dig in his heels. Yep. Virility and ego are tied closely together for guys. And criticism will erode his ego and make him less in the mood. Let him know you're couching the issue for a few weeks. When you revisit, the point to focus on is that desire is a choice, says Weiner Davis. If he loves you and wants to make you happy, he simply has to initiate sex once a week. Yes, because sex is the only way of expressing love for a person.
I'm sorry, but that word initiate just sounds.
It's hilarious.
It makes me think of Star Trek. Initiate!
Well, it was Kirk.
Oh, gosh.
LOL. Don't get started on Kirk and Spock. This is neither the time nor the place.
OTP.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
If nothing changes, it might mean you're not compatible long term. Learning how to cope with your differences is the difference between people in happy relationships and those who end up breaking up, she says. Sex is not the only way to express love for a person.
Yes.
It is one way
No, not yes.
to express physical desire to a person.
So, you were a wiener, and then it decided it wanted you to not be a dick. So.
Well, there's that.
Oh, Jessie Klein. Jessie Klein is good.
Who's that?
She's a comedian who appears on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me every couple of weeks.
Wait. What?
Jessie Klein.
Oh.
She's a panelist on Wait, Wait. My boobs lost their power.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
For years, comedian Jessie Klein reveled in guys' reactions to her kind of fantastic chest. But when her fiancé stopped gawking, she and her breasts had an identity crisis. Oh, this sounds good.
Keep going.
I was an extremely late bloomer. I could vote, then drink, before I could fill out a B cup. By my senior year of college, I'd stopped waiting for breasts, assuming that once you're 20, every party part you're going to have has already come to the party.
Wait, so this is saying that my boobs might get big someday.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
While it was frustrating to be small, in hindsight, I'm grateful. While other girls were developing a chest, I was forced to develop a personality, a feature that will never sag. When my boobs finally did appear, which happened somewhat spontaneously at 21, they made a rather grand entrance. They weren't just present, they were also, forgive me, kind of fantastic. Kind of.
There is hope for me yet, ladies.
Well, boobs don't stop growing till you're like 25.
Really?
Something like
If
that.
you want to make your boobs grow into her, you could have a child, but
Mine haven't grown since I was 14.
mine grew in when I was 10.
So, I mean, they started when I was like 10, but then they stopped at like age 14 or 15.
Mine stopped at age 15.
Yeah, I don't think mine have stopped growing, and it's kind of frustrating, but at
Can
the
I
same
just-
time...
You can send me some of that growth. I wouldn't mind slightly larger breasts.
I have granny boobs,
Have a
though.
baby. A huge part of what I appreciated about having breasts was how much men appreciated me having them. Oh, yeah.
Oh, boobs.
As much as dating can suck, the one consistently fun part was the reaction I got when I took off my top. It was like being in Cirque du Soleil without doing any work. The woman with breasts.
I'm guessing they were really, really nicely shaped. What does this woman look like? What's her name?
Jessie Klein. I have no idea what she looks like. I've only ever heard her voice on the radio.
I'm Googling her.
She's really funny.
Okay. Time to look her up for her boobs.
It was like being in an eclipse, except you're not supposed to stare directly at an eclipse the way men stared directly at my boobs. The gaga look I'd get from new suitors gave me a peek into how I imagined Kate Upton feels all day, every day.
Who's Kate Upton?
Fuck if I know. Even with guys I'd been dating for a while, when I walked around post-shower, I could feel their eyes following me like a dog watching a tennis ball. Or 2 tennis balls.
That's amusing.
I got the same looks from my fiancé when we first started dating 3 years ago. Actually, they were even better, because in addition to each of us thinking the other looked cute naked, we fell in love and decided to move in together. But I wasn't prepared for the scene that occurred 2 months into our cohabitation. Him, getting ready for work, me, also getting ready, but in jeans, topless as I searched for my bra. I thought this was a pretty hottish look. When I walked into the bedroom, he looked me in the eyes and asked where his socks were. It's a strange sensation, as a woman, to feel air against your breasts and be talking about laundry. That's when I realized my favorite party trick was no longer new at this party. What, he's used to it.
So she's a comedian?
Yeah.
So what's funny about this? Her failure to realize that personality was more important than boobs.
Mm-hmm.
My rack and I entered a mourning phase. We missed even the goofy adolescent attention that we used to get from him, the honk-honks and the tune and Tokyos that he'd dole out with a dopey grin. I fretted over whether this was the beginning of a more insidious slide into the kind of neutered couplehood where the energy that once went into creating a robust sex life now goes into curating the DVR. Over the course of a year, despite the fact that I was happy, I'd always feel a pang when my boyfriend's eyes stayed on Angry Birds, even though I was sashaying topless through the room like it was a beach in Ibiza. But then something happened. We got engaged. And in the afterglow of making that commitment, it dawned on me that I'd sugarcoated one important fact about my dating glory days. All those dudes who never got tired of staring at my boobs, in the end we'd gotten tired of each other. They weren't there to hold my hair the way my fiancé did during a vicious case of food poisoning. They never wanted to talk me off the ledge the way my fiancé always does when I'm on the phone freaking out about a career choice. And none of their horny gawking equals the sweet gaze I get from Mike every morning when I wake up, blurry-eyed and makeupless, but loved anyway. Well, that was sweet, Jessie.
I can't find a good picture of her where her boobs are visible. She doesn't wear anything low cut, which is really awesome. I mean, she's not really that hypersexualized, and it's great.
I don't even know what she looks like.
This is the best I can do.
Well, she's quite lovely.
Yeah, her
Like her
boobs
face
are
is-
spectacular.
Yeah, they are. Google image Jessie Klein if you want more details.
Yep, because we kind of
Failed.
don't have any good images of her breasts, which is both really encouraging as a feminist and disappointing from the perspective of the article, and the need to have the curiosity about what they look like satisfied.
Miss Klein, if you ever find this, we apologize for speculating on this, but you kind of did give them the article. So...
Now we have to know what your boobs look like.
Yeah, but love your work on Wait
Preferably.
Wait. 7 moves you think he wants in bed, but he really doesn't.
Maybe this will apply to fanfic in some way and it'll be useful.
You write hetero fanfic, don't you?
No, but I can learn. Alright, I don't think I've ever written any straight fic, ever. Wait, I have, but it was mostly platonic.
Yeah.
I don't write straight porn. I don't write porn. Ever.
I write porn, but it's not straight porn.
I write fluff and romance.
Oh god, I suck at fluff.
I'm so good at fluff.
Okay, tangent over. There's so much advice out there about how to please your guy, but guess what? You don't have to try nearly as hard as you think to turn us on. Yeah, as Dave Barry once said, it doesn't take much to make a guy wild in bed, you just have to get in there with him. Everywhere you look, there's a new list of tips on how to drive him wild, usually in this magazine. The message they send? Hey girls, if you'd only try harder, he'll like you more. But actually, most guys I know are pretty simple. Are you a girl? Okay, good. You're 99% of the way there. Unless he's gay. Let's not be heterosexist like everyone else.
It's Cosmo, sweet pea.
All that crazy advice is, well, crazy to us. Like these doozies.
Oh god.
1. Join him in his pre-work morning shower.
No.
That happens
it's too
in
early in the
fanfiction.
morning.
A guy's gut reaction.
Early wood. What is it called?
Morning wood.
That's
According to Melanie, guys can't actually get off when they have morning wood. She and Colin have tried and failed.
Okay, he can't get off, but he is not representative of every guy in the nation.
True.
Or in the world.
Men who are listening or watching to this should respond.
Please, inquiring female virginal minds want to know. It's for science.
For science!
Mm-hmm.
A guy's gut reaction. Oh, you mean the only 10 minutes of alone time I get all day?
Mm-hmm.
Why it's not that sexy. Sex in the shower can be a divisive issue. Taking it to his pre-work morning shower ups the ante. This might be the only time all day a guy isn't dying for sex. As my friend D, yes, he goes by D, 26 says, there's nothing like getting ready for work with a round of awkward shower sex. Unless you have a seat in there, shower sex is never as fun as it sounds. Who gets to stand under the water? And she can't like it when she goes down on me and there's scalding hot water blasting in her face. Sure makes the climax kind of anticlimactic. Okay, kind of off topic, but there is one very nice fanfic about cold showers on my community. Just saying. 2. Strongly hint that you're in the mood, then play hard to get and make him work at seducing you. A guy's gut reaction. Just what a guy wants when he gets home from work. More work. Cock tease. Why it's not that sexy. The chase is a game for those who've just met. When you're in a new relationship, you're so excited you'll try anything. I once spent 3 weeks eating at vegan restaurants just because a girl was cute and vegan. Of course, I'd grab a cheeseburger afterwards, but still, that's working for it. Oh please, you had to try something new. Get over it. One of the great perks of a long-term relationship is sure thing sex. As my buddy Jim38 put it, if you've been in a relationship for a while, this tip amounts to cruel and unusual punishment. We've worked hard to catch you in the first place, so let's just enjoy the fruits of our labor. Clearly they didn't read the article on when the girl wants it, and he doesn't. 3. Make love in front of a mirror so you can see every erotic angle of each other's bodies.
No.
Is that why they
Yeah,
have mirrors over the beds?
Yes.
Yes.
Ew.
Just no. I'm sorry, but no.
Yeah, that one does come up in
Okay.
fan fiction a lot.
Excuse me.
A guy's gut reaction. It's the non-erotic angles we're afraid of.
Basically. That's everyone's freaking reaction. I'm sorry, but sex is not generally a really pretty thing.
Why it's not that sexy. Maybe a guy in amazing shape wouldn't dread this tip quite as much as I do. But even my athletic friend Brad, 25, says, I'm not crazy about it. It seems distracting. When you're scrutinizing every bit of action unfolding in the mirror, you're likely to see some seriously non-sexy angles.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you've both discussed and agreed to it, or it's 1977 and a mirror is hanging on the ceiling above your guy's waterbed. Wow, if you got this magazine in 1977, you're a Time Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Forget the whole reflection thing. It's too hard to get lost in the moment when you're watching what your butt looks like in every position. Honey, I don't even know what my butt looks like normally.
Butt looks like naked. No one... As I tell people, no one wants to see my ass naked, though it is the 8th wonder of the world.
I don't
Certainly not
even
me.
know what my ass looks like.
That's okay. It's a decent ass. I mean, in jeans. I've never seen you nude, and
I was about to say.
want to. I don't particularly wish to see you nude. Just saying.
Yeah, love you, babe, but
Not
same.
that much. It's like, no.
4. Wear a top with a million little buttons and slowly undo them while he watches.
No.
That comes up in erotica a lot, too. A guy's gut reaction. Is it cool if I watch baseball till you finish?
LOL.
That's pretty clever.
That's funny.
Why it's not that sexy? This sounds more goofy than sexy. Sure, most guys enjoy a striptease, but there's a reason strippers don't wear tops like that. Namely, there are a few things less hot than unbuttoning a million buttons. Guys like it when you take off your clothes, but it's better if it doesn't take half an inning to get to the main event. Half an inning or a quarter, depending on the season. 5. Buy a super pricey, super vampy little lingerie number for his eyes only. A guy's gut reaction. The only time a guy notices lingerie is when it's hard to take off.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
And that's when knives come in handy.
Knife play is hot. Just saying.
Yes. As long as you're both into that and always have a safe word.
Safe, sane, and consensual. PSA.
Watermelons!
Yep. Is that our safe word?
I
For
thought
the
our
evening?
safe word was Furbies.
Well, that's for group conversations at the dinner table.
Exactly.
Oh, I thought our group conversation safe word was, Wigglypuff.
No, that was, before.
Oh.
Now it's Furbies because it gets Bono to stop talking. Apparently, that's since Jodie when Jodie's around, the safe word is Furbies.
Okay. So is watermelons the bedroom safe word then?
Or maybe the Cosmo safe word.
It was actually that was actually one of the words that my friend in high school came up with whenever I learned what a safe word was. I was like, what's
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you know.
Halitosis.
Ew.
Exactly.
Mine's goldfish. I'll never have occasion to use it, but it's goldfish.
Let's see, I've had halitosis, gingivitis.
You should
Cucumbers.
There's a dentist right across the street.
Yeah. Why it's not that sexy. Sexy lingerie is kind of a non-starter. If it makes you feel sexy, great. Go for it. But if you're wearing it to turn a guy on, just know it doesn't do as much for us as you might think. The one hot thing about lingerie is the mystery of what's underneath. But as Will 40 says, if I already know what's under there, then what's the point? Good point. I spoke to multiple guys about lingerie, and all had some variation of the same response. Unless you crawl into bed wearing stained granny panties, we really don't care if your undies are silk, lace, or cotton lycra blend.
Cotton's better.
It is.
According to Bridget Jones's diary, granny panties can actually work. 6. Stick a silk scarf in his bag with a note that reads, "You're going to need this later tonight."
Why is that sexy?
It's not.
That's about as awesome. Hey, that would be like me setting up at the very front entrance of like a room or something, a note with a little Nerf gun attached to it,
Okay, that's actually hilarious.
and then being like, "As of this moment, you are under attack."
That's fucking
A guy's gut reaction. Why, is it gonna be cold out? Yeah. Why it's
You
not
should
that
be more
sexy.
direct and just put some bondage rope in his bag.
Unless you're 1, Stevie Nicks, or 2, dating Steven Tyler, silk scarves have no place at sexy time. That's a little generic.
It really is generic. Too vanilla.
The same goes for most supposedly sexy props. Red light bulb, handcuffs, geisha costumes, unless you know a guy who is into those things. It's not the prop that counts. It's you, up for fun, that's the real exciting part. Most of us don't know what to make of silk scarves and all that stuff. The last thing we want in bed is to be confused.
That's a perpetual state of mind for me.
Especially in this magazine.
Have you read Cosmo's Sex Guide?
Yes.
My freshman year. Was it my freshman year? Yeah. My freshman year. my suite decided to watch porno, and
Oh God.
It was probably much more instructive than Cosmopolitan.
oh no, they had the Cosmo Bible, sex guide Bible, and they had it on the pass down shelf.
Cosmo is very, again, heterosexist, very much about pleasing the man, and they're also very generic.
That year we also watched The L Word for some balance, though.
Okay.
7. Read each other torrid passages from erotic books.
That could work.
Or fan fiction.
Mm-hmm.
A guy's gut reaction. You know there's free porn online, right? Well, that's why I said fan fiction. You can get that free. If you get the good stuff.
You know, you can get most of the stuff at the library, too. That's probably too much information.
No, but you can.
Support your libraries, people!
Basically.
Why it's not that sexy. These days, the average guy has spent most of his life immersed in what's become a highly sexualized culture. From hardcore porn to the lingerie ad at the bus stop, we're constantly being hit over the head with sex. And you do that all the time, Cosmopolitan. We don't want to read a bedtime story, we want to engage in the story ourselves. Talking dirty to each other, that's a win. So just read the book yourself and steal
dirty.
lines
Fuck
from it.
You. Fucking. Be more specific.
Mud.
Mud. Lots of mud.
Filth detritus.
Rubbish.
Maggot.
Filth. Slime. The queen of putrescence.
That's really harsh. Oh baby, oh baby.
Yes, babies are filthy little things.
They really
I was
are.
quoting the
They
Princess
come out of
Bride.
vaginas.
Well, vaginas are awesome, but babies, all they do
And
is
then they're
shit and
covered
cry.
in. And then they come with.
How did we get to babies?
Cause
I said, oh baby,
they're
oh
filthy.
baby.
Oh.
And she's talking dirty.
So here's the thing. Guys don't require fancy moves or costumes to get turned on. So you can throw this magazine away because it's not actually gonna help you.
Basically.
We're simple creatures with simple needs. We like gestures that show us you care. And we like it when a girl has a vibrant life outside the relationship.
Something about vibrant vibrators.
Get a neon green vibrator, you'll be good.
That's vibrant, isn't it?
When I met my wife, I thought it was sexy that she would stay out till 4 a.m. drinking bourbon at a dive bar. Not judging.
Nope.
My friend Afshin, 24, says, one time a girl woke me up with a massage, and it was awesome. Chad, 27, says, I love how my girlfriend keeps my favorite snacks at her place. Now that's hot. So all I need to seduce a guy is a 6-pack of beer.
Duh, the best way to get to a man's heart is food. That's what I've always been told. Food and beer. Booze is not optional, especially college-age people.
Booze is nasty, let's be honest.
I consider booze also to be not just like just any liquor, any wine, anything alcohol.
Sex Q&A. No BS responses to questions you could only ask Cosmopolitan. Question. I enjoy girl-on-girl porn even though I'm not a lesbian. What's going on? Study actually found that most straight women find girl-on-girl hotter than any other type.
Because women know what women want.
Yeah,
Exactly. Answer. There could be several factors at play, says Yvonne K. Fulbright, PhD, author of Touch Me There. She appeared earlier in this magazine. For one, girl-on-girl action is still largely considered naughty and taboo, so it's titillating to watch.
Tits. Tits.
It's
Sorry.
not that unusual.
I just like their word
You're
choice.
also probably identifying with the women. When you see them touching each other, it's easy to imagine how it would feel to you, since you share the same body parts.
Especially if you see someone like me giving a massage, be like, oh yes, I want someone like that person to give me a massage, and oh yeah, that sounds like it feels good.
My back is so fucking happy right now, you have no fucking idea.
And because women are more attuned to the touches that feel good to another woman, it's understandably pleasing to watch two girls together. That relatability is a big part of the turn-on.
This is...
It could also be that the men in porn are, how do we say this, largely unattractive, making it harder to get into on-screen hetero action. You could watch guy on guy. Just saying. And if the men are unattractive, you're obviously watching the wrong kind of porn. You're watching porn made for men, so of course the man doesn't have to be attractive.
I just like their word choice.
Just saying.
When I
Find the porn made for women. Question.
Answer.
I never had a UTI before I started dating my most recent boyfriend. Even though I always pee after sex, it seems like I come down with a UTI once a month. Could it have something to do with our body chemistry?
Yeah, his penis is probably really dirty.
Yeah, tell him to wash more often. Answer. Unless your new relationship is anxiety-inducing, which can trigger stress responses in the body that inhibit your immune system and make you more susceptible to UTIs, the repetitive UTIs shouldn't be the result of incompatible body chemistry, says Lisa Rankin, MD, author of What's Down There. Why do all these people have ridiculously long titles? Are you trying to give your magazine some degree of legitimacy?
They're trying, they're not really succeeding.
They could, however, have something to do with all the hot new sex moves you're busting out, high five, even though they're not necessary according to the last article. Is your boyfriend manually stimulating your G-spot or going at it with you doggy style? Anything that puts pressure on the urethra can introduce bacteria into that area. Experiment more with positions that put pressure on the back of your vagina rather than the front, like reverse girl on top so you're facing away from him. And try dosing up on vitamin C supplements before sex. They can acidify the urine and act as a natural antimicrobial.
Microbial.
Whatever.
Microbial.
Do you have an herb for that, Raven?
What?
Do you have an herb for UTIs?
Not off the top of my head, but my
They
brain's
actually,
jello.
there are there are a lot of like essential oils for those, like.
Which one would you say?
Well, anything citrus, if you just take it with, like, water, is good.
Question. It takes me a minute to have an orgasm with myself, but with a guy, it takes longer. Why? Because you didn't follow the tips back in the orgasm instruction article.
Obviously.
Clearly.
Please refer back to page 20.
It was page...
They need to...
Refer to page 164. Answer. You may be concentrating on his reactions or wondering what he's thinking, which shifts the focus from your orgasm, says sex researcher Kristen Mork, PhD. And if you listen to Cosmopolitan, that's probably true because they focus on him too much. Plus, no partner will know your body as well as you know your own. To minimize distractions and keep your mind from wandering, focus on the moment and enjoy each sensation. Try saying in your head, his tongue feels so good right there.
Maybe we should be reading Men's GQ, because they give men advice.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
We should get a copy.
They have online articles on stuff. It's just kind of...
Okay, Jodie, if you want to supply the money for a issue of GQ, we can do that as a contrast.
They give excellent fashion advice to men in that fucking article, you know? Yeah, I would totally.
I'll check it out.
Question.
Unless they have sexy men.
Is it true that eating certain foods will make me taste better down there?
Not really.
No.
It's the place where you pee out of.
Actually, that'd be really hard to prove, so...
Yeah, you'd have to take a very large sample size, but the general consensus is no, not really.
Answer. Doctors haven't really studied this, says Dr. Rankin, so no one knows. It's pretty much impossible to get a good sample. But rumor has it that cigarettes, marijuana, and alcohol can make you taste bitter, while red meat, dairy, and multivitamins may make you taste salty or sharp. Veggies and herbs high in chlorophyll, such as wheatgrass, parsley, and celery, are reputed to make you taste sweeter, as is fruit. Bottom line, it doesn't hurt to try. So remember, girls, eat your vegetables.
And don't smoke pot or binge drink.
Your mom was right.
Same goes for guys, too, actually, I've been told.
Basically.
Considering I don't know what either tastes like,
I don't want to know what anyone tastes like.
What's
I'm not a cannibal!
It's
I thought cannibalism was frowned upon.
Okay. Ask him anything. Love advice from our guide guru, Kai Henderson. Question.
Answer.
I feel like my boyfriend and I have hit a route where all we do is watch movies and eat pizza in bed. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I want to go out more, but he's never interested. Help! See page 168. Answer. First of all, a nightly habit of eating pizza in bed will make your bedroom feel as sexy as a Subaru.
Uh-huh.
Yeah? Second, make sure you're spending time with your own friends. Not only will you scratch some of the itch you have to go out more, but seeing you having fun with him, without him, may inspire your boyfriend to put down the remote. Another good way to light a fire under a guy's ass is a little healthy competition. So suggest that the two of you take turns planning the most fun, unusual, inexpensive, or creative date night to see who can do it better.
Kerosene also helps too.
Finally, you can simply be honest and make a deal with him. Nights in are great, but we're in a rut. Let's make it a point to have one date night out for every 3 movie nights at home.
Seriously, if you're spending that much money on pizza, you
Yeah.
could be spending that much money on a cute little date and be like, and get all groovy with your.
Like Cosmo.
Question. What's the best way to figure out if a guy is willing to take your casual relationship to a more exclusive level? Ask him. Doesn't hurt.
Basically, be straightforward, man.
Teach him baseball. First base, second base, third base.
Answer.
Run.
By reminding him that you're not exclusive now. Many guys have an amazing capacity to convince themselves that the women they're casually dating are so into them that they never date other guys. These guys are selfish douchebags. They're happy to keep things casual because they think it's a one-way deal. So be honest about what you're thinking, but do it in a way that makes it clear you're not waiting around for him. Say, I haven't stopped seeing other guys, but it's starting to feel strange because of how close you and I are getting. What do you think? Disclaimer. He may tell you he doesn't want to become exclusive, but at least this way you know for sure where you stand. You could just ask him. You could just say, hey, do you want to be an exclusive thing now? Doesn't hurt. Question. Is it better for a girl to fake an orgasm or telling a guy she's not going to have one? Tell him. That way he can work on it and you might do better next time.
Hey man, you suck at giving me orgasms.
Just tell...
Work on it.
Yeah. Communication in sex is key. I mean, if you're faking an orgasm, you're not doing anyone any favors. You're inflating his ego, which will eventually crash down, and you're not getting off yourself, so you don't feel good, so don't fake it. Tell him, I don't think it's gonna happen tonight, let's try again some other time.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah, he might feel bad, but he can work on it. Cosmo says, Answer. It's best to do neither. Bullshit.
Best to do neither? What do you do? Okay, and we're done. We're done here.
If you fake it, he'll just keep on doing whatever it is that isn't making you have a real orgasm. And if he discovers you've been faking, there'll be all kinds of problems because of his damaged ego. However, if you simply tell him you're not going to have an orgasm, what he may hear is, I'm not enjoying this at all. You are less than a man. No.
Bullshit. Again, communication. It depends on the person, because...
More ego problems. So if you want to avoid that, or 20 unpleasant minutes of his trying in vain to make you finish, simply grab him and say some variation of, I want you to come. It gets your point across without hurting anyone's feelings, and it sounds hot. Oh, and if you've never had an orgasm with him, you need to tell or show him how to get you there. For tips, see Orgasm Guaranteed, page 164. Question. Why does my guy treat me worse when we're around his friends? Because he's a douchebag. Answer. Because he's an immature moron. Okay, that's slightly more professional than I would have put it.
Yep.
He should be extra attentive to you when you're around his friends, at least until he knows you're comfortable with them. But it sounds like he feels the need to prove to his buddies, or to himself, that he won't let the fact that he has a girlfriend change him. Or he's been watching Grease.
You're the one that I want. The
One that I want. Ooh, 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 honey.
The one that I want.
You're the one that I want. Ooh, ooh. Okay, then musical segment over. Sorry for our singing.
Never say sorry.
Never
I regret
apologize.
nothing.
And I'm guessing that translates to him all but ignoring you, being cold, or even putting you down in front of everyone. So next time you're alone together, I think you should be honest. Listen, I like your friends, but you treat me like crap when we're around them. Why is that? He's not going to give you an honest answer, you should just dump him. Maybe he doesn't even realize it, and this will be a wake-up call. Regardless, it'll give you the chance to make it clear that he needs to stop.
Just tell your douchebag boyfriend, hey, stop being a dick.
Yep.
Start treating all of his friends like dicks and see if he gets the message. No, I don't recommend that, but if you think that approach would work, why not?
Question. My boyfriend is really sweet, but he's not romantic at all. Most guys aren't. We've been together for 2 years, and he has yet to send even a single flower. How do I tell him he needs to up the romance without making him feel bad?
Take the initiative! Good.
Send him flowers yourself.
If you spend all of eternity waiting for a guy to do something, chances are he'll never do it.
If I may put on my life coach hat here, you're simply not speaking the same love language. Your love language is receiving gifts, his is something else entirely. So let him know that is your love language and buy an overpriced book that's full of shit. Answer. First of all, don't worry about making him feel bad. He can take it. You were just saying not to bruise a guy's ego by faking an orgasm. Make up your mind, Cosmopolitan.
It's Cosmos, sweetie.
Instead, worry about getting your message across. Since it's been 2 years, wait for a night when you've each had a couple of drinks. In other words, you're loosened up but not tripping over furniture.
That's what she said.
Get him drunk. And tell him you want to make sure you guys don't take each other for granted. Ask him if there's anything he misses about when you first started dating, or if there's anything he'd like to tweak, and take his feedback in stride. When it's your turn, bring up romance. That way, you're not berating him for never being romantic, you're letting him know exactly how to make you happy, which he'll appreciate. Unless he's a douchebag.
Or depressed.
Question. The guy I'm dating keeps saying that he thinks internet dating is for losers who can't find a date by themselves. Do I need to tell him that's how I met my last boyfriend? Every time he mentions it, I feel lame. Nah, just dump him. In fact, that's the advice I'd give to most of these people. Just dump him. Answer. Does this guy you're dating also think cars are for people who can't walk and microwaves are for people who can't build fires? Yes.
My family thinks that. That's because they live in Mexico.
Because that's how ridiculous his attitude towards online dating is. So if anyone should feel lame here, it's him, not you. Keeping that in mind, next time he starts criticizing online daters, ask him if he thinks you're a loser. When he says no, tell him, well, I met my last boyfriend on a dating site and he was a great guy. So that's 2 online daters who aren't losers. I'm sure there are a lot more. Just remember, the important thing here isn't to change his dopey opinion, although hopefully that will happen. It's to stop letting him make you feel lame for no reason.
Do you remember that? Oh, I don't know if you've watched it. On BBC, there used to be a television show where this woman was like, I want to have a relationship. And so she pretty much goes out and tries every single trick in the book to get a date and get married. Or something like that.
That sounds stupid.
Yeah, well, she tried online dating services, she did one of those quick date things, she went to party, she had to. If you're gonna put yourself out there, and you're not like in a college where, you just run into people all the time, you end up spending, you have to make a lot of effort
To find somebody.
Yeah, and so, internet, whole lot easier.
Question. I get excited when my crush likes my pictures on Instagram.
That's cheesy.
Your life is sad. But he likes a lot of other girls' pictures as well.
That's stupid.
You're lame. We seem to have a good connection in person. Can liking my photos mean something more? Say it with me.
No.
You're an idiot.
She's not an idiot. She's just a bit misguided. I mean, the guy's allowed to like the images he likes. It's, he's probably appreciating them for artistic value. So take it in stride, and if you have a crush on the guy, tell him. The end.
Yeah, some people like everything that comes up on their feed. Like my sister likes every status I post as a way to tell me that she's read it, regardless of what she actually thinks of it. Answer. Assuming you've already graduated from middle school, no, it doesn't mean something more. Like you said, he likes lots of Instagram photos, so liking yours doesn't signal a special connection. He just thinks you're a good photographer. And besides, chances are that a guy would be more direct if he wanted to let you know it's you he likes, not your photo of mac and cheese. I hope her photos are a little more in depth than that. That's why instead of overanalyzing his social media habits, you should try to spend time with him in real life, and focus on the fact that you get along well. If you're looking for a sign that he's into you, his willingness to hang out in person could be it. Well, that was sound advice for...
Cosmo.
Hang on, I have to...
He reused it and other condom F-ups.
Ew!
That's not how condoms work.
Sure, you put one on a banana in high school health class, but an Indiana University study that examined 16 years of condom research...
Oh my god, blood going back into my leg. Oh, I'm gonna die.
We could all use a refresher. These common mistakes put you at risk for pregnancy and STIs. The common condom mistakes. Late application. There's no such thing as being fashionably late when it comes to putting on a condom. It exposes you to pre-ejaculation, which can contain sperm and transmit infection.
Yep.
Put that condom on right away, girls.
Condoms are awesome, use them. The end.
Early removal. Putting on a condom only to take it off for the main event is futile. You lose your protection when you need it most. Think of a condom like Spanx. Once it's on, it ain't coming off. Air bubbles. They can form when you or he puts the condom on and can pop while you're grinding, which can tear the latex. Smooth any bubbles with your hands.
I'm allergic to latex.
Well, then get the
Sheepskin
latex-free ones.
Oh, my hip.
Take the pill, Jodie.
I don't want to go to a lady doctor.
That's okay, you don't have to.
Huzzah.
If you're not sexually active, don't worry about it.
Huzzah.
Terrage. It's sex, not a Top Chef quickfire challenge. That's interesting.
That's my baby.
Slowly open a condom wrapper instead of ravaging your rubbers with scissors or, say, teeth.
Why is it? Well, I don't know. I guess people think that's sexy, but I don't get it.
Wearing two. Save double bagging for the supermarket. Layering condoms causes friction, which makes the edges roll up from the base of his penis and rips the latex because of extra abrasion. Recycling. A condom used more than once is more likely to break, and even if you rinse it, some semen remains on it. Go 2 rounds with your guy, not your protection.
What the fuck would you want to... Well, I guess if you didn't have any more condoms, but in that case, there are other ways to get off than vaginal intercourse.
Heteronormative magazine.
Yes, but even in a
Clitoris!
heterosexual context.
Clitoris.
Yes, and hand jobs and other
Fellatio.
things. Yes, other things than penile-vaginal intercourse.
Massages.
Uh-huh. Then there's just the whole pair bonding thing.
Ooh, this is awesome. Plan B Easy Access. Woo! A vending machine in the health center at Shippensburg University in Pennsylvania dispenses the emergency contraceptive Plan B for $25. Vending machine with birth control. That is awesome.
I think that's the best ever.
Religious groups freaked, claiming it encourages sex. Oh no.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, that came out in the news recently. Did you read anything about that?
No.
There's a college that wants to remove all, like, vending machines, anything that supports, like, condoms being sold on
Are you
campus.
fucking kidding me?
Because it's against their ethical bleh.
You have only but the FDA has okayed it. You have only 72 hours to take EC. This allows you to do it quickly and in private. We hope this seal of approval means more machines coming your way. I support this.
There we go.
Plan B is good.
Oh my gosh, I'm
Contraception is awesome. It is cheaper in the long run than unwanted babies.
Jodie, I love
And now we come to the horoscope.
the horror scope.
Yep.
Oh my god, what's Taurus say? Me first.
Taurus. Stellar gifts. You're loyal, sensual, and practical. Blind spots. You can be stubborn and self-indulgent.
No
It's
shit.
your birthday time, so...
Yes.
Fashion faves. Soft materials and classic cuts define your impeccable signature look.
Uh-huh.
Indulgence. You take pleasure in life's little extravagances. Seduction style. You're a big fan of flirty conversation. This month, major career developments on the 1st of May will present you with 2 exciting opportunities. Gather your thoughts on the 11th and express your opinions at work when verbal Mercury gives you a major confidence boost. In love, it's all about keeping an air of mystery. Play hard to get. Year ahead. This is the year to strengthen your friendships. Hit the town with your girls in June and make the most of your endless energy and get ready for love. You'll be deep inside a heady romance by year's end. Your love matches. Virgo. It's okay, I don't like you like that.
Neither do I.
His
Word.
patience and dedication make you feel cherished and adored, blah blah blah.
Here's my
Do you have anyone in specific?
No.
Okay.
Jodie, what's your sign?
I'm a Virgo.
Ha!
Actually, Jodie, what's your sign?
I'm a Leo.
Leo.
Fuck.
I love Leos.
Although I do sympathize with Scorpio as well because
Yes, but
this is relevant because
I'm
Loki.
a Leo, yeah.
You were born Leo. Focus on your intellect. If you've been thinking of going back to school or learning a new skill, now is the time to sign up. So, go back to school.
Fuck!
Your mantra. Master your mojo. You're all fired up and bursting with energy. Channel that positivity into your relationships and you'll be rewarded by month's end.
That is bollocks.
Don't bother being too stubborn. On the 17th, the moon is in your sign squares off with aggressive Mars. If you're feeling feisty, lay low. Power of attraction. Your guy may be moody around the 2nd. Go out with your girls and give him space. He'll be nipping at your heels the moment you come home.
Oh well. Because we're awesome.
And I'm a Virgo, so let me see where I'm at. Focus on your libido. Well, I never focus on anything else, so what am I supposed to do different?
I want to read yours.
A romantic encounter on the 19th means a dreamy few weeks ahead. So on the 19th of May, I'm going to meet a good guy.
You're
Wait,
going
that's
to graduate.
graduation. There's going to be a cute guy at graduation.
Do you want to do this?
Ugh.
Yes.
Okay.
Your mantra. Admit you're awesome. I always do. I've never denied that I'm not awesome. Your modest
Motherfucker.
nature means you rarely toot your own horn. Do you know me at all?
Apparently not.
You should
Now's
start
the time to
names
bask
with
in
N
much
body.
deserved attention.
With a K, not an N.
Don't bother splurging on clothes. Wait a week before going on a guilt blitz. You'll want a cushion of cash for an unexpected outing. Yeah, I'm graduating, so my parents will be paying for shit. Power of attraction. The eclipse on the 25th in your private sector helps you tap into your most lustful side. Spend a luxurious Saturday morning in bed till noon with your man. Well, I spend every Saturday morning in bed till noon, but I don't have a man to spend it with.
What do you have a girl?
I do have a girl. Ooh, the Taurus man is Robert Pattinson. He looks awful with a beard.
Robert Pattinson's a Taurus.
Yes.
That's why I like his snark so much.
You have to feel sorry for a guy who played one of the worst literary characters
Oh,
ever.
God, I know. That poor man. No one hates Twilight as much as he does.
Then again, he laughed all the way to the bank.
True.
It's worth it if it's that.
It's really
Only
legit.
for that.
And finally, a quiz. How well do you read guys' signals?
Not at all. Okay, let's go. Who wants to take it first?
Let's just... Yeah, who wants to go first?
Can it be
Actually,
me?
you...
I'm the resident lesbian. Can I go?
Yeah, let's go with Raven. Jodie, do you have any interest in men? Or
Find
women?
them interesting. I don't.
Do you have any sort of romantic...
I don't know if I do or not. I haven't been around men in how long?
Undecided.
4
She's
years.
Undecided.
Okay, well, let's just all take it together because I only feel like reading this once, so
Alright.
we're probably similar. 1. The guy you've been dating for a month asked you to his parents' house for his family reunion weekend. You're thinking, A. OMG's time to start a wedding Pinterest board. No.
No.
B. He's moving too fast. Does he rush into things with every girl he dates? No.
Let's see.
C. I'm excited to see his old bedroom and teenage sneaker collection.
Jesus Christ.
C.
B.
B. Okay, keep track of your answers.
Hang on, let me write this down.
2. You're out to dinner with the girls, and the hot waiter who's been flirting with you all night writes his number on your check.
Fuck
You. A. Assume he's into you. Nice. You just might call. B. Figure he's just looking for a big tip. C. Drum your fingers at the bar until he finishes his shift. Why waste time?
A.
Probably B.
I would probably go for C, because I want to know what the fuck this number thinks about.
Keep track of it.
Okay, so Jodie has C.
3. The cute new guy at the office asks you to out for a post-work cocktail. You. A. Plan an elaborate outfit change and Oscar-worthy makeup transformation. It's a date. B. Assume he wants to get inside your head and talk business. C. Think there's a spark, but you're not going to make assumptions. You'll go with an open attitude. C.
C.
B.
4. You've just been on the best first date ever. So we sat at home, watched movies, and read TV tropes.
Fuck
Awesome. You're making out in the street and he tries to get you to spend the night. You.
No.
A. Assume he's only interested in getting some action. Just another player. B. Dig the awesome chemistry, but if he wants to see you again, he'll call. C. Stay over. Otherwise, he might not want another date. B. 5. The guy you really like calls you twice a week around 11 p.m. to ask if you want to sleep over. You think, A. The time you spend together is so fun, he's bound to want you to see you in daylight soon. B. It's pretty obvious you're his booty call. C. Next step, Olive Garden with your parents.
B.
B. It's obvious.
What do you
Okay,
say,
so,
I don't know what
scoring. Question 1. If you got B0, C1.
Okay.
Question 2. If you put A1, B0, C2.
Okay.
3. If you put A2, B0, C1. 4. A0, B1, C2. And 5. A0, B1, C2.
Okay.
So, how many points did you get?
Jodie and I both got 4 points.
So did I. 4 to 7 points. Congrats, you're a man whisperer.
Okay. Yeah!
Not only can you tell when your new guy is totally smitten, you know just the right time to end a late-night makeout session and keep him on his toes. Hussey says that your confidence and stellar ability to read guys' signals puts you in the perfect position to connect with the eligible men that come your way. You could tell he's interested. The next step? Hussey suggests mirroring his body language and ramping up the eye contact to strengthen your bond. Let the flirting begin. You know, it's not really hard to read guys' signals. Just saying.
What are the other options for our listeners who took it and didn't score 4 to 7?
Okay, if you got 0 to 3 points, girl, take off your blinders. If you're calling your once-a-week late-night hookup your boyfriend, you're probably ignoring his signals, says relationship expert Matthew Hussey, author of Get the Guy. If you don't spend any time together outside the bedroom, and not for lack of your trying, he's not looking for more, he says. On the flip side, don't be clueless and repel your crush without knowing it. See someone cute? Smile in his direction. Gives us something to go on. A little encouragement goes a long way, says Hussey. 8 to 10 points. You're a classic overreader. Slow down, lady. You're reading way too much into guys' cues. When that hot waiter leaves you his number, he's hoping you'll call, not hover at the bar for 3 hours. Don't risk sabotaging a great connection by jumping the gun. If your radar is a little wonky, it helps to zoom out, says Emily Basilitis, PhD, assistant professor of psychology at New York University. Imagine your best friend is in your situation. How would you tell her to respond? Playing it a little cool helps build momentum in a relationship. So that was Cosmopolitan, May 2013. What do we think?
Better than the last one.
I think it's
It was
the
more
same,
interesting,
though.
certainly. Huh?
I don't see much change in their Cosmo stuff. It's always the same content.
Sex, how to get men, the end.
Sex.
Yeah, but how they present it.
Yeah.
This one was more interesting than last month's issue, but
I'm impressed that they actually brought up issues even though we did not discuss them on the show, such as domestic violence and self-harm. That was something I wasn't planning to find in a Cosmo magazine, regardless of the context.
yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, Cosmopolitan does often bring up stuff like that, and the reason we don't discuss it on this show is this is a comedy show, and
Ish.
I categorize it as comedy,
Mm-hmm.
and we do not want to make fun of that, and honestly, I think at least one of us has had too much time with domestic abuse to read about in a magazine.
Basically.
So, that is this month's issue. Until next time, have a nice spring, happy graduation, all of you seniors,
Happy prom, high schoolers.
and we will see you in June, or I will see you in June, possibly with a new co-contributor. Good night.